We are witnessing something surreal. Two of the biggest artists in hip-hop, Drake and Kanye West, are allegedly coming together to launch an assault on Kendrick Lamar. Yes, you heard that right. After years of subliminals, sneak disses, and petty drama, Drake is apparently gearing up for round 2 with Kendrick. But here's the wild part. He's already lost. This isn't just rap beef, this is desperation. And the way it's playing out might be one of the most frustrating things we've seen in hip-hop in years. Let's break down how we got here, and why this is going to end in nothing but more L's for Drake. Over the past few years, Kendrick Lamar has redefined what dominance in hip-hop looks like. While other artists chased viral trends, Kendrick focused on impact: cultural, lyrical, musical. Whether it was Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, The Heart Part 5, or his explosive guest verse on Like That, Kendrick hasn't just been making music. He's been leading a movement. And most importantly, he's been doing it without engaging in the clownery. No Instagram rants, no Twitter beefs, just music, messages, and mastery. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Drake has been slowly spiraling. From questionable releases like For All the Dogs, to ghostwriting accusations that just won't go away, to the awkward collaborations with Twitch streamers and influencers, Drake's recent moves feel less like calculated steps and more like panic. He's not innovating, he's reacting. And the numbers, the reviews, and the public sentiment all show that the throne he once held uncontested, it's not his anymore. Now, Drake could respond the way a true artist might, by leveling up, evolving, and letting the music speak. But that's not what's happening. Instead, what we're seeing is a coordinated effort to attack Kendrick from another angle. An angle that's less about lyrics and more about narratives. Enter Kanye West. Yes, yeah. The same who once had beef with Drake so intense that it defined an entire era of hip-hop drama. Now, they're apparently on the same side. Not because they've buried the hatchet, but because they share a common enemy: Kendrick Lamar. Kanye, in recent weeks, has made multiple statements downplaying Kendrick's influence, leaving him off lists, calling him an industry puppet, talking about how Kendrick doesn't deserve his spot. And Drake? He's been silent, strategically silent, letting Kanye say the loud part while he operates in the background. But it doesn't stop there. DJ Academics, who might as well be Drake's unofficial spokesperson at this point, is releasing a full interview with Kanye. You already know what that means. It's not just going to be an interview, it's going to be a hit piece. AK knows how to stir controversy. He knows what questions to ask to get Ye riled up, and he knows exactly how to clip those moments and send them viral. What they want is noise, a distraction, a counter-narrative to Kendrick's calm dominance. They want people talking about Ye's wild takes instead of Kendrick's verses. And this circle, it's growing. Aiden Ross is getting involved. Yes, that Aiden Ross, the one who's made a career out of being controversial for clicks. He's now part of the wave-amplifying anti-Kendrick sentiment. And then there's the speculation around certain controversial figures, brothers who have their own checkered histories, who've been seen around both Ye and Ak. This is no longer about hip-hop. This is about chaos. Drake, Ye, Ak, Aiden, all teaming up not because they love the craft, but because they hate that Kendrick represents everything they can't be right now. Here's the real issue. This attempt to bring down Kendrick isn't rooted in truth. It's rooted in bitterness, in fear, in ego. Kendrick has done nothing but elevate hip-hop, push boundaries, inspire real conversations. And these guys, they're trying to twist the narrative into some bizarre conspiracy where Kendrick is an industry plant and they're the victims of a corrupt system. It's laughable. Because if Kendrick's a plant, then how do you explain to Pimp a Butterfly? D-A-M-N Good Kid? M-A-A-D City? The Pulitzer? You can't fake that. And that's why this whole plan is already falling apart. Because while Drake and Ye play the blame game, Kendrick is planning his next move. His silence is louder than their screams. His music hits harder than their interviews. And the culture? It's standing with Kendrick. Every time these guys try to throw dirt on his name, his legacy just grows. Kanye's involvement in this might be the saddest part. Once a pioneer, someone who pushed hip-hop to evolve, he's now cosplaying as a bitter old head, attacking the very culture he helped build. The Anakin Skywalker of hip-hop, once the chosen one, now aligned with the dark side. His rants, his erratic behavior, his alliances, they don't feel revolutionary, they feel regressive. And by standing with Drake in this crusade against Kendrick, He's sealing his legacy, not as a visionary, but as a cautionary tale. This whole thing, it's bigger than just rap beef. It's about where the culture is going. Are we going to reward the artists who push boundaries, stay true to the craft, and uplift the genre? Or are we going to let the loudest voices in the room hijack the conversation with clout chasing and chaos? Drake and Ye want the culture to bend to their egos. Kendrick wants it to rise above them. So, as this new wave of distractions, interviews, and wild accusations rolls in, just remember, Kendrick doesn't need to respond. He never has. He's never had to tweet through the noise, never had to beg for attention, never had to team up with controversial influencers to stay relevant, because Kendrick Lamar's pen has always spoken louder than any press run. His silence? It's intentional. It's powerful. It's the kind of silence that only comes when your work does the talking. Drake, on the other hand, is in a panic. Every move he's made lately feels like it comes from a place of insecurity, trying to meme his way back into relevance, linking up with the most divisive figures on the internet, letting Kanye fight his battles for him, while he hides behind silence that doesn't feel powerful. It feels scared. And Kanye, a man who once stood for innovation, is now spinning in circles, trying to rewrite a legacy he already etched in stone a decade ago. He's not leading a revolution. He's spiraling. And the only thing more tragic than watching that fall is watching him drag others down with him. This alliance they've formed isn't built on mutual respect. It's built on mutual bitterness, on resentment, on a shared fear of irrelevance. But here's the thing. You can't erase greatness by shouting over it. Kendrick Lamar has already done what most artists can only dream of. He's given us era-defining albums. He's impacted generations. He's challenged the status quo while staying true to himself. And he's done it all without ever becoming the loudest voice in the room. Because real leaders don't yell. They move in purpose. And right now, Kendrick is moving in silence. And that silence, it's deafening. This isn't about who can get the most likes. It's not about whose podcast goes viral. It's not about who trends on Twitter for starting beef. It's about legacy. It's about impact. It's about truth. And while Drake and Ye scramble to control the narrative, Kendrick's already secured the legacy. So let this be a reminder: loud doesn't mean right. Trending doesn't mean timeless. And no matter how hard they try to rewrite the story, hip-hop remembers. The culture remembers. We remember. Kendrick isn't just winning this battle, he's already won the war. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Will this Ye x Drake campaign go anywhere, or are we just witnessing the slow collapse of a couple of egos that couldn't handle being surpassed? If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe. We've got more deep dives, breakdowns, and real hip-hop conversations coming your way. Until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, and most of all, support the ones pushing the culture forward.